So the Suns and the Clippers today had their first game of the Western Conference in the first round, where the Clippers took the win in a 113 to 110 dub over the Suns, where, there were some great defense played by both teams, but specifically in the fourth, KD and Devin Booker for the Suns played some pretty good defense to make the Suns in this game regardless. And even on the Clippers, guys like Kawhi Leonard, obviously, but guys like Russell Westbrook was a huge factor in the Clippers defense today overall. So today, we're going to go over the game talking about the Clippers versus the Suns and overall just some basically, I would say, Clipper predictions on where they can go from here, because this series of the Suns and the Clippers is definitely one of the more interesting, if not the most interesting playoff matchup we've seen in the first round so far. So we'll get into the box score talking about the Clippers and the Suns. So we'll start off with Kawhi Leonard with 38 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists with 1 steal and 1 block. We have Russell Westbrook 9 points, 10 rebounds and 8 assists with 2 steals and 3 blocks. Eric Gordon 19 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. We have Zubox with 12 points and 14 rebounds, and we have Nick Batum with 3 points and 2 assists for the starting 5. So initially looking at the starting 5 over here, so yeah, there's a lot of things I want to say about the starting 5. The Clippers, their versatility on their roster is definitely something they should be pretty much proud of. They can insert anyone into the starting lineup. Guys like Eric Gordon, he's been able to step up when PG hasn't been here or hasn't been healthy, so that's great to see. But also guys like Nick Batum being able to play that great defense that they need him to, I think it's just great. And honestly, they can just sub in anyone. Even a guy like a Robert Covington, Marcus Morris is still on the team. Both those guys can provide some good defense off the bench. Even Norman Powell can sub in if Eric Gordon gets injured or something. So I think, being able to have players ready off the bench is something that is pretty good for the Clippers. So off the bench, all 4 of their bench players today played pretty well. Mason Plumlee, 7 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists. Bones Highland, 3 points and 1 rebound in 13 minutes. Nothing too amazing from him, but I know he does have potential to go off. Terrence Mann, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and Norman Powell with 14 points and 2 assists with 1 steal. So I think the Clippers, they did a great job today, containing, I would say containing the Suns, but KD, he went for 27, 11, and 9, and Torrey Craig, I would say they did their best trying to contain the Suns, and they really did. They got the dub over them, but regardless, they do need to work on that defense a little more. Obviously looking at the Clippers, they are missing one of their best defenders in PG, so that's one of the reasons why. But Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, and Devin Booker all combining for, I think it was a stat line, 18 points in the first quarter. Definitely wasn't the best thing for the Suns. So they did a pretty good job containing those 3. But overall, guys like Torrey Craig shouldn't be going off. Guys like Jock Landale, I know he had a pretty impactful game today for the Suns too. So yeah, for the Clippers, what I'm really looking for here is the Kawhi Leonard versus Kevin Durant matchup there, because I think both those guys are really going to be the key pieces to their teams respectively to win this series. So I think, Kawhi Leonard having a pretty good game today definitely was the reason why they were in this game. And also guys like Russell Westbrook being an X factor in Eric Gordon. So yeah, if the Clippers, they do want to succeed, they're going to need guys like Bones Highland off the bench to step up. Playmaking wasn't all too great today. Off the bench, I can't really see a good playmaker off the bench, but that's what they have Westbrook for. But he can only play a certain amount of minutes. He played 36. Kawhi Leonard played 42. I think he played the all through fourth, I want to say, which is definitely, I would say, good to see. But also, the workload on Kawhi Leonard is definitely going to be a lot more. So panning out throughout the series, I think Kawhi Leonard definitely has his work cut out for him. But if they do make it to the second round, I think, with PG back into the lineup, it should be a little bit more easier for him. So looking at the Suns side of things, we'll go over it pretty briefly. Like I said, Kevin Durant, 27 points, 11 assists, 9 rebounds. Torrey Craig had a pretty good game, 22 points and 4 rebounds with 1 assist and 1 steal. DeAndre Ayton, 18 points and 8 rebounds. He was a big factor for them in the fourth too, definitely keeping them pretty much competitive throughout the game. Chris Paul only had 7 points, but did have 11 rebounds, which was surprising to see, and 10 assists with 2 steals. And finally, Devin Booker with 26 points, 4 steals, 3 blocks. A great defensive game from Booker, 3 assists and 1 rebound. So yeah, the Suns, they were a pretty competent team throughout this game as well. Really, the only thing here was that their bench pretty much sucked. The only guys that really scored were Shamit, Landale, and Biombo, but they all combined for 10 points overall. So that's not great to see from your bench bench players, and that's really the concern for this team overall, is that they don't really have much bench depth. I mean, they didn't play guys like TJ Warren today, which I think should have definitely been a factor in today. I mean, I think TJ Warren definitely has some scoring potential for this team. Same thing with Damian Lee. I think he does have some things he can do at the point guard position off the bench. So yeah, no campaign tonight. I mean, I think he is injured, I want to say. So without campaign off the bench running the bench unit, it definitely was a lot harder for the Suns to get going. So yeah, we'll see what happens throughout the series. I think this is going to be my favorite series overall in the West and overall in the playoffs. Definitely some pretty competitive teams in the Suns and the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers, if they do get PG back sometime, if by a miracle he does come back, I mean, it definitely would be a better series. But you can't ask for anything more than Kawhi Leonard versus Kevin Durant. I think this matchup between the two, Kawhi Leonard coming back, I think this is his first playoff since the 2021 season, so that's good to see. Kevin Durant finally playing with the Phoenix Suns after that injury in the warm-up and the regular season. So I would like to see, the Clippers come out on top here. I think I got them in 7 games. This series could definitely go 7 games, but in my opinion, it could definitely go either way. But for me personally, I think the Clippers are going to take this series in 7, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Suns took it also in 7 games. I mean, it definitely would be possible, but yeah, I mean, the Clippers, they do have some good pieces. Like I said, I mean, they're working with what they have right now. No PG, like I said, so we'll see what happens. They do have some guys that can rotate into the starting lineup, maybe off the bench, but yeah, we'll see what happens with the Clippers. That's the end. I'm out.